Welcome to Mad Mel's Mind. Thanks for joining me. My name is Melissa and this is a podcast all about me, about my life with PTSD, about my life with husband and kids and friends and everything in between. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of Mad Mel's Mic, season 2. Thanks for joining me today. Today's episode of Mad Mel's Mic is a little different. I know that you've heard my story before, my timeline in the police, my diagnosis with PTSD, and what life looks like after medically retiring at 37. But today you're going to hear a story from a perspective you haven't yet heard. The people who watched it all unfold from the sidelines, my parents. They saw the little girl. I think I'm going to cry already.
No, I'm already starting to. And I'm thinking, here you go. We're not even going to get through it. I'm telling you.
They saw the little girl I used to be, the police officer I became.
Do you push pause?
And the moments when things started to change. So today we're talking about what it was like raising me, watching me join the police, and what it was like as parents when everything changed. Mum and Dad, welcome to Mad Mel's Mic.
Thanks.
All right, so thanks again for tuning in. I'm just going to put it out here and apologise in advance that it might be a long, slow episode if we can't even get through the intro without crying. So, Mum and Dad, welcome again to Mad Mel's Mic for joining me. Just when you are talking, just make sure you hold it up to your mouth and stuff. Okay. So, what was your lives like before I was born?
Holy smokes. Before you were born, well, we had two others. We had Matthew and Emma.
What's your other kid's name?
Yeah, good on it, yeah. Carol, Ken and Cameron.
And we were very excited for Melissa
Yeah.
to come along because I wanted 4.
That was before we had 1.
Yeah, I know. But then we had Melissa. I thought, this is lovely, little girl, but that's it, no more. So we were.
So you knew that was it. I was your full stop.
Yeah,
that's right,
that was
yeah.
it. Yeah, no more children after you, Melissa.
Family calls it.
And we were very excited.
Yeah. Oh, good.
But life was busy with 2 little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the gap between Emma and I? 5 years, and 6 between Matthew and I. So there was a bit of a gap.
Yeah, there was a gap. Yeah,
between me.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably a funny question. Well, not funny, but did you think I would be an easy child or a handful?
We never gave it any thought. We just enjoyed having you and just did every day as it was. Enjoying the baby and the other kids. Yeah.
Never thought of anything really.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think we ever think about if our kids are going to be hard work or not. We all sort of hope that they're angels and perfect, but they never are.
Yeah.
Except me.
No, I think it was good, really. No, Melissa slotted in very well.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
No, that's exactly right. There is no choice. No, exactly right.
All right, Mum.
Yes.
What was going through your mind the first time you held me?
Oh, the first time I held you, that was obviously in hospital.
It's going back a few years.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is going back 42 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, long time. Yes, no, I was very happy. The first thing I saw, you had this little funny spot on your ear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just there. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. But very, very happy.
Good.
Very happy. I was happy it was a little girl.
Yeah. Oh, you were happy to have another girl?
Yeah, I was happy to have another little girl. Wouldn't have mattered what I had, but I was happy to have a little girl.
Yeah.
Had your name picked out. That was good.
Good.
Yeah.
And Dad, what was your first reaction when you found out you were having another girl?
Well, I don't think it worried me either. I never gave it much, I never wanted another boy and another girl. It was just fine. It was all healthy.
Yeah.
All the figures came up well. 10 out of 10.
All my fingers.
Fingers and toes.
And what was I like as a child?
Picture perfect.
Oh, I think you're telling big
Yeah,
things.
but that was later on. But
well, as a child, from what ages?
No, just me as a kid, as a child.
I don't think there was any problem.
Well, you were very sporty.
Yeah.
You liked to do sports. You had your own opinions, very much.
Yeah, I wonder where Rory gets it from.
Yes, because, I had to stop buying you clothes at 4 because you had your own opinions about clothes. So I said, I'm not buying you anything anymore. Liz. I said, you have to get your own clothes. So we did. So you would go to the shop and pick out your own clothes. Yes. Yeah.
Was I hard, or if I had my own opinion, that would have had some resistance?
Yeah.
Didn't impact that life at all,
I
did it?
look, to be quite honest, I can't really think that you were hard or easy. I
Yeah.
think you just slotted in. I think we just all did our own thing, and yeah.
And in your opinion, who was the stricter parent?
In my opinion,
Yeah, in both of your opinions.
I think your father was probably more strict than me, but
What do you think?
he may have a different opinion.
Yeah, but don't forget, I'm probably at work most of the time, so most of the discipline was on your mother's because she was home with the kids a lot more.
Yeah. I think from my memory, Dad was stricter, but if you got Mum cranky, then you knew you really messed up.
Yeah, I have to say, it takes a lot to get me cranky, but when
Yeah.
I'm cranky, I'm really
I remember
cranky.
running down the hallway trying to get away from getting smacked.
Yeah, smack with the wooden spoon. Oh dear, yes, I remember that.
And hiding on the top bunk thinking Mum can't reach me because she's so short. Nah, she
Hey,
can get up anyway.
I'd still reach her, don't you worry.
No.
Oh dear.
And what sort of personality did I have growing up?
Well,
Well, I think you should have given us a bit more notice about these questions.
Oh, yes. And Mum and Dad these are the first time they've heard these questions, so.
Oh dear, we need a bit of time to
you had a
think.
nice personality. You just had a
Has
few moments
it
of
changed much?
out of left field. No.
No, I don't think your personality's changed much. No. Really, no, not really.
What's one story from my childhood that sums me up? Well, Mum's got her thinking face on.
Oh dear. Come on.
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
We
I
can
know.
come back to it if you can't.
That sums you up.
Or just a funny story or something. We need to forgive the oldies because they've got early onset dementia.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's many members, but nothing that really hits you.
Funny
You know, that's
stories,
funny stories.
Oh, I know. We might have to come back to that one.
Yeah, okay, we'll come back to that one. Was there a moment when you thought this kid is going to be strong-willed? Oh, probably back to the clothes.
Yeah, we did have. Yeah, she was strong-willed. Yes. we did notice that. Yes, yeah, from very early.
I never worried as much. We just sort of carry on with life, you know.
Yeah.
Mum, was there anything about me that worried you growing up?
Yes, and you might not like the answer to this.
Okay, well, tell me.
Well, Melissa was the most Dutch-looking out of all of us, and the thinnest out of all of us. And then she got into her teenage years, and she started to eat, and she would not stop.
I did it well.
And I said, Melissa, you need to stop eating. Okay. No, it didn't work. So that was a bit, I was a bit concerned about that. Oh, and then she wouldn't study for her exams. Melissa, you need to study for your exams. No. Okay, don't then. I don't care. On the third one, I didn't bother. So yeah. Not the exams didn't worry me that much, but the eating was of a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. It's all good. I like eating too.
And Dad, was there something as a kid I did that made you proud? Can you think of any?
I think you're very good at sports. I think you did very well as a working as a chemist. That was always good.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously when you left there to join the police force, I thought that was a big effort. You started
Yeah.
to study. You put a lot of effort into that, and we went down to Goulburn and graduated. It was another proud moment.
Yeah.
So that had happened here.
Well, let's not jump ahead too much. We're still talking about as a child,
Okay.
We're still as a child.
but that's okay.
Okay.
She said, "What's a proud moment?" I was just saying that's what it was.
No, I too agree with that though. Was I an easy teenager or a challenging one?
I think for us you were an easy teenager, but I think you got up to some mischief that maybe we didn't even know about. Probably lots of mischief, which is probably normal. But you did work. You worked part-time, and that was good. You worked in the chemist, in the pharmacy, and
Yeah.
I don't know whether you really liked it, but you did it.
And you never gave us any
Assad?
problem.
No.
Assad, remember his name?
Yeah.
Assad
Yeah.
and Ferris, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
They love you.
yeah.
Can you think of any of the biggest trouble I got in as a teenager? I don't think I ever did get in trouble.
Oh,
I just never got caught.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes, that's it. You never got caught. I don't know because I don't know. Don't know what trouble you got into really.
Okay, so just quickly, did you think I was going to follow a certain career path when I was in my teenage years?
I don't know if PC gave any indication of what you wanted to do.
Well, I thought you might have, in your teenage years, might have thought of the force.
Yeah, I thought
Might have thought
my
of the police
memory was
force.
that I always wanted to join the cops.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much like that.
Yeah.
For me, I think that's what sort of you did want to do because you started straight away.
Yeah.
So I think it was that.
I was
don't
18
think
at the academy, so obviously it's some teenagers.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't think there was any other sort of profession that you had ever really said.
No.
No. So I
No.
think it was definitely the police force.
And what did you think when I told you I wanted to join the police?
Good,
Yeah.
good, but a bit nervous.
Yeah.
You know, being in the police force. Yeah, but no, we were happy that you wanted to do that, and
Yeah.
that was fine. That was good. But yeah, obviously as parents you think, oh, could be a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
You know. But no, apart from that,
Proud, worried, or both, or all of the above?
all of the above.
Yeah.
All of the above. For me anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, Dad?
Yeah, I don't think I had any fears really. I never gave it. I was really proud you were doing it. Never did
Yeah.
look on the negative side of it.
And did you ever worry about my safety while I was working? Like if I went to work?
Not greatly. We've had a few stories like the Matt Druitt stories and that sort of stuff, but never really worried a lot, did
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It would have crossed
Yeah,
our minds,
it's-
but definitely not worried about
we? Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
that's right.
But
Yeah.
definitely crossed our
I
minds.
do remember you saying, Mum, at one point that if police ever knocked on your door, you knew something
Yes.
bad.
Yeah, something bad was going to happen. Yeah, and I think that's just.
So it's
par for the
probably
course.
always in the back of your mind,
Yeah,
but not.
Yeah, but you don't dwell on it. You don't make it.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that you live by.
So, Dad, I know you've touched on this already, but what did you think when I graduated and officially became a police officer?
We're a proud moment. Yeah, it was really exciting to go down there and see all the crowds and talk about with families. Well, your siblings as well.
Yeah.
No, my parents too.
Yeah, I think they were down
Yeah.
there. What did he say?
You know what he just said? Were they alive then?
Yes, they were.
They were.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell we're old.
And there has been no dementia diagnosis yet.
Not yet. Not yet being the operative word, yes.
Yeah.
Well, forget about it.
Now, did you notice changes in me during my time in the police?
Yeah, just trying to think. No, because we went to Walgett, you know, it was a great time there, and I don't think you had too much pressure there as such as, although you're still in the police force, and then went there to Burke, the PCYC, so I don't think it probably impacted you, although you would have seen some horrific things in Walgett and Burke as well. But I think being in general duties here in Orange, I think would have been starting to change a little bit, just a bit more pressure.
Yeah, I like in the early years. Is that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
question?
just
Yeah, probably not in the early years. I think it was good that you talked about bits and pieces, and you know, I think because there was
The nasty accident at Walgett that time.
yeah. We don't need to talk about specific
Oh, okay.
jobs.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
Only because I can't actually remember what you're talking about
Yeah, well, that's a
either.
good thing. Yeah.
So
yeah. So no, I look.
Okay.
Obviously, you would have changed
yeah.
because the academy is a different place altogether.
Yeah. And I think, like, for me, looking back in terms of how I changed, I know I became a lot more cynical. I looked at people through different lenses.
Okay.
But no, I don't think, I don't know, I guess you become stronger as a person because that's what you have to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
working in the cops. But I think that first big change would have been from the academy to starting at Mount Druitt, because
Absolutely.
that's a massive shock to the system, and it was either a sink or swim station.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
right.
where,
I remember you said that a lot. You know, some of the people they dealt with and kids they dealt with,
yeah,
that really affected you. like the language and that sort of stuff.
I don't think it affected me.
No,
I think
it
it.
was just a culture change.
Yeah, just a shock because
Yeah.
we had lived quite a
Sheltered life.
lifestyle, and I
Yeah.
hadn't seen that other side of
yeah,
society. So
Yeah.
I don't, and I think with my PTSD diagnosis, there was no lead up. It just was one day I broke.
Yeah,
Like
that's
for
right.
me, and you might say something different, because the next question is, looking back, were there signs that I was struggling?
I didn't see really any signs.
Yeah, because
I
I
think-
didn't see anything
No,
either.
no, I didn't see any signs with you struggling. Things would,
No,
but obviously when looking back at that, that's exactly what
that's
was
exactly,
happening.
because as soon as, like on the 15th of February that night, I was having nightmares from jobs I'd been to 18 years before.
Yeah.
Like, so they were obviously somewhere in the back of my brain that
Yeah.
I thought weren't an issue, and they ended up were.
Yeah. So it was a shock because we didn't really know anything about it. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was a shock.
I think it was a shock for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you understand what PTSD was before that?
Very little.
We
little
we
bit.
knew of it. Yes,
Yeah.
we knew of it. PTSD was post-traumatic stress,
Disorder.
Yeah.
disorder. Yeah, but didn't know anything about it. But yes, we did know of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you gave us that information in some of the audios you gave us.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, but that wouldn't have been for another 2 years either.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because there was a long time between my diagnosis and my first hospital stay, which is when, what it sort of, for me, I sort of started to understand it more myself, which
Yeah.
was then I could give that information to you guys and the rest of the family and stuff.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about watching me go through that?
Not being really, I guess, not being able to do a lot
Yeah.
for you. That's the hard part. What do you do? You know, you can say we're here for you, but there's nothing really we can do because you had your own family, you had your kids, you had your husband,
Yeah.
you know. So there's not really a lot we support you in whatever.
You bought me Lego.
Oh yes, we bought her Lego, lots and lots of
Still
Lego,
paying back the bank.
and massages and Lego.
Yeah, I know. and when later on, obviously, at the hospital, we drove down and saw you. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys always made an effort. And I think with mental health as well, like, and I've said in previous episodes and stuff, like, there's nothing anybody can do for you. Like, you need to put in the hard effort to help yourself. And I know as somebody who's been through it, yeah, like, you just want to be able to snap your fingers and fix things
Yeah,
for
that's
people,
right,
but you
yeah.
can't do it.
No,
So,
you can't do it. So just supporting, like, you know, taking time to go down and visit,
yeah,
you know, in the hospital, visit at home, be helpful at home, you know, if she's
phone
struggling
calls.
with whatever around the house, you know, just being supporting.
yeah. And as my mum, what was that period like for you in sort of the first 12 months of my diagnosis?
Oh, pretty hard, I guess. You try to keep your emotions in check, you know, so that you don't fall apart when you see her.
Yeah.
You know, when you see Melissa, and just trying to be here and be
positive.
positive, but then also accepting, you know, like when she goes to bed at 7:30, I'm going to bed now. Okay, bye, darling.
I said
See
I'm
ya.
tapping out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did that a few times. I remember that actually.
yeah, tapping out. So I thought, yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, and just sort of, if anything was said or done, not to take any, you know, take it to heart
Yeah.
or offence or anything like that. It was just how it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And as my dad, did you ever feel unsure on how to help me?
Oh, yeah. Scared stiff, I said the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but not intentionally.
Oh, no. It's always just part of it. You know, I
Yeah.
guess it's a learning curve for all of us.
Yeah.
And I think it was all touchy-touchy. You know?
Yeah, well,
because you don't know what to say, do
No.
you?
Yeah,
You
I know.
You don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you don't say anything, then the person probably thinks, oh, they're not
Yeah.
very comforting or they're not
Yeah.
very helpful. And then you
Yeah.
say something, you think, oh, I've put my foot in that one.
yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
phone calls were different. Yeah, what you're saying, what you shouldn't say. And yeah, I think that was because we spoke to you regularly.
Yeah.
It was always nice. And if we didn't hear from you for a day or two, you always be worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we didn't hear from you for a few days, that would think, wonder how she's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would cross our minds
Yeah.
regularly. Because I think as a whole, as a family, we're all pretty close, and we often ring each other. And when we go away, we let them know we're home and safely, and we all do that, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
So when you don't hear from your kids for a little bit, you think, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, whether you're all right.
Yeah.
So
And I remember in the first sort of early days of it, like in the first 3 or 4 months or so, like talking to anybody was hard work.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
for
I
you.
just tried not to do it.
yeah.
So
yeah.
which then it makes it hard for everybody else.
It was scary when you said you couldn't even get to the front door.
Yeah.
See people.
Yeah, I
said
used
when
to.
the van pulled up then, I said a couple of years ago, you couldn't even answer the door.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a package delivered, and there would have been times I wouldn't have gone up there. Actually, there would have been times where none of the blinds were open.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it looked like nobody was home.
Yeah, well, you used to hide behind the kitchen
Yeah.
if someone walked down the road. Holy smokes, that's bad.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, like, just to look at it now retrospectively of how far I actually have come?
Oh,
yeah.
you've come
Like-
a long way, Liz. Yeah.
It's been
You
a-
wouldn't even go into town
No.
unless Carl went.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of the kids that have to
Yeah.
have somebody to hold my hand.
Yeah,
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
literally, but
And I think that was when that's when it really hit home to
Yes,
us
yeah.
how bad you were.
Yeah.
And, you know, because we didn't know,
Mm.
because we weren't here with you. So that was sort of, I went, wow, that's bad.
Yeah, that's serious.
That is serious, serious crap. I think you might have been those famous words your father says.
Yeah.
lumpy bumpy.
Yeah, the lumpy
She
puppy.
was a bit lumpy bumpy, that one.
But we had visions of people at the door, you ducking for cover.
Look, in hindsight, it is a little bit funny, but
Yeah.
it
Oh,
certainly
serious?
wasn't at the time.
No, not at the time, but
no.
yeah, but it's good that you can
Oh
look
yeah,
back.
but I know, like, a certain spot where I sit on the lounge, we've got like that glass cabinet,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I can see the reflection of somebody coming down the driveway. So
Yeah.
I'd have the two blinds there shut all the way, and then that one shut most of the way, but open enough so I could see
Wow.
people still coming down the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye. So what went through your mind when I medically retired?
I don't think it affected me much. I thought it was probably the best thing to get out in that situation. You needed to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I think that was where it was going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you needed to do that, and I think that was the best thing for you. And I know you really enjoyed being in
Yeah,
the
I
police.
did,
I know
yeah,
you really
yeah,
did enjoy
yeah.
it, but when it comes to the point that you were at, you need to get out.
Yeah.
You
And I
really do.
remember the day we had all sort of made the decision with my treating parties, I'd walked out of the GP and just felt like that massive sense of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
It's like-
said you were finished. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
not going back.
Yeah,
And I was
that
like,
decision up to it would have been hard.
Yeah.
but it wasn't necessarily hard, because I think it was harder thinking that I might have to go back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So knowing that I didn't have to go back
Oh,
was
yeah.
the easier decision to make than
Yeah, yeah.
having to go back, because I had tried a couple of shifts from home as well, and that just made it
No.
even worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so for me, I don't think the decision to leave was particularly hard.
Yeah.
It was a lot of other things, like disappointment and
Yeah, that's
loss of
right. Yeah, 'cause
identity
you-
and things
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Like, I don't remember ever wanting to do anything else.
Yeah.
No.
And
yeah.
it's not how I saw my career ending
No,
at 37
Yeah.
with 3, and the kids were little-ish. Well, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
5 years ago. So
Oh,
what,
yeah.
Mackenzie's
Right,
Kids
yeah.
would have
18,
been
so she was only 13.
13. Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, they've dealt with a fair bit, and they've all been at that age where they understand as well,
Yeah,
which
that's right.
has made
All
it
the
hard on
time
them.
they did the most, but
Yeah.
particularly spent a lot of time away from home.
Yeah, well, in the from 2023, yeah,
Yeah.
a fair few hospital stays in
I
there.
know.
Yeah.
So,
But also too, pardon me, with the PTSD, you also had depression and anxiety. Those 3 things,
yeah,
you were a walking mess.
Yeah.
Darling. Absolutely a walking mess.
and I think the thing is too, though, that is important for everyone to remember, is that just because I'm okay now, at this minute, doesn't mean that something can't change tomorrow.
Oh,
Like
exactly right.
PTSD, depression, and anxiety, unfortunately,
Yeah.
are going to be stuck with me for life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can control it better at this stage.
At this stage,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not to say something might not trigger me in 6
Yeah.
months' time, and then
bit of a
spiral,
cycle,
go
yeah.
back
Yes,
down.
go back
So
down.
it's just that roller coaster of ups and downs, and if we can
Yeah.
keep the ups and downs further and further apart,
Yeah.
that's what we're aiming for. So
And you can
Yeah,
control
that's
the downs more that you know you've got it, whereas initially you probably didn't know you had it, and therefore.
well, I always knew I had it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
so as soon as my because I didn't have any mental health issues before
Oh, yeah,
No,
okay,
you
yeah.
didn't.
then.
Yeah.
So I've always known I've had it, but I think I've had a lot more education and different methods and stuff on how I can,
Yeah.
if I am having a bad day, say with my anxiety, there's a few little coping strategies that I can do
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So a lot of the education I've done through the hospital has helped
Yeah.
with those as well. So yeah. Did you worry about my life, what my life would look like after I retired?
I personally didn't think much about it because you had great support from Carl and the kids, and you know, I thought you'd be okay. You know, that we were more worried about your mental health in
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah, like it didn't really concern me, but I did think Melissa is a type of person that she needs to be busy. She needs to have something to do. So then I thought, well, I wonder what she is going to do. Like, she loves reading, loves playing sports, but was that going to be enough?
Yeah.
You know, to sink her teeth into. Not that I was concerned or worried, but it did cross my mind for sure.
Yeah.
And
What
then you
you're going to
started
do.
Meads, is it?
Yeah, I started the company.
And that went well. You poured everything into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was, how do I say it? That was me hiding
Yeah, that's right.
Behind-
Absolutely, yeah.
behind
yeah,
what was
yeah.
actually going on. So if I was keeping myself busy, I wasn't having to then deal with my head, which is
Yeah,
why
that's
then
right. Yeah.
I threw myself into all my exercise and stuff
Distraction,
like that.
yeah.
And instead of dealing with what was actually going on, I was just masking it. And and then I obviously had to start dealing with it when I did my ankle in 2023. My only coping strategy was gone.
Yeah, yeah. But in saying that, you didn't know any better.
No, that's
So
exactly
you
right.
were, in your own mind, really trying to cope and do
100%,
something
yeah.
about it. You
Yeah.
weren't just sitting back saying, well, I'm done. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it now. I'm going to give up,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. You actually went out and did something, and that was exercise and
Yeah.
starting up that little business, and which was all positive
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And since then, you've learned how to have little strategies and
Yeah.
be able to cope a bit better with
Yeah.
it. So,
And I think it's important to realise that just keeping yourself busy doesn't fix anything.
no, that's right.
So,
You physically wear you down, and then
Yeah,
what was the hardest part of that time for you?
of that time.
Yeah.
What, when you were trying to...
Yeah, so sort of let's go from when I was diagnosed in 2021 to before I did my ankle. Like it probably wasn't actually all that hard. I think the hardest part for me was when I did my ankle.
Yeah, you...
And that probably would have been the same case for you, because then that's when the wheels really started to fall off.
Yeah, the wheels did fall off then. Up until then, even though you were diagnosed, we just thought everything was going along not
Yeah.
too badly, you know, really, because you were exercising and doing lots of different things. But yeah, when you broke your ankle, that was it. That was, you were not a happy chappy then.
No.
no.
That is for
I
sure.
remember we'd be driving in the car and I'd drive past somebody run and I'd go, look at this fucking idiot showing off that they can run. I'm like, what jerks, don't they realise I'm in a mood boot?
Yeah.
Everybody should stop doing what they enjoy because I can't do it.
Oh dear. Yes, yeah, that was...
So Dad, did you ever feel angry about how things ended?
No, I don't think I had any anger or anything. There was a moment of concern, you know, and hoping you'd pull out of it.
Yeah.
And a bit worried about how bad it would get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the same. Yeah.
And Mum, were you worried about my future?
No, I don't think I was. No, like not in terms of work or not in terms of family. No,
Yeah.
but I think maybe in terms that you could rise above it and get to a point where you were more stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was more the focus that I was on back then.
Yeah.
You know, that she could sort of find you an even playing field,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the kids were young and,
Yeah,
it was a lot of
time away from home.
time, that the kids had to deal with it as
Yeah.
well. And So you sort of it crosses your mind. Yeah.
I think it's been a big learning curve for everybody.
Yeah, it has.
Like for myself, but for us as an extended family and you guys and stuff like that too. Like, because I know when I've interviewed all of the 3 kids, one of the questions was, what have you learnt as a result of this? And they've all answered it, and none of them listened to the episode, so they hadn't listened to each other's, and they all answered exactly the same, is that they have a better understanding of their own mental health and for that of their friends as well.
Yes.
And so, and I think that's probably a good positive that we can take out of
because
my head breaking.
If none of this happened, none of us would know about how to be able to be sympathetic to anybody else that's going through it. And it's not just something airy-fairy. It is actually a disease that goes on.
Yeah, well, PTSD is an injury. Like your brain,
that's right.
your brain actually changes.
Yeah.
So,
and the good side of it, you can relate and can help other.
Yeah.
And know what they're going through, their journey they're having.
Yeah, and that's been
Yeah.
been good. So when did you start to see the glimpses of the old me coming back?
We've actually said quite a few times, oh, there's Melissa, she's back. She's back now. She here.
I think 2 or 3 trips ago here, because I said to Carl, Melissa's lights are starting to come on a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just recently too, I think you said that, you've cleaned out your linen press.
Oh, yeah.
I went, wow, Melissa's back. Here she is. She's doing some housework. Good on her. That's excellent.
In the veggie garden.
On the veggie garden, and just doing normal things that you would have been doing years ago.
Yeah.
That we do see it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go to bed at 7:30. That's handy.
Yeah,
that's good.
That is nice.
Yeah, and smiling a lot more. And
But I think our trip was a big help for all of us.
oh yeah, we went on that trip.
Oh, yeah, we went to, when was that? 2024? Yeah, 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hijacked Mum and Dad's holiday to Canada, Alaska and LA and had a great time.
Yeah, it was
I got Dad stoned multiple times.
I think it was good therapy for Mum and I.
Well, yes, especially for you in Canada, you naughty boy.
It is all legal over there, just so you know.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Was there a moment when you went and you realised I was going to be okay?
I don't think we ever doubted that you wouldn't be okay. I think it was just a slow climb back. My personal.
But we did a lot of praying.
Oh, for
about
sure,
it.
yeah.
I know that's probably sounds silly to
And
a lot of people,
did
but
as well. A lot of people.
we did send out, messages of help.
Yeah.
To pray. But we just had to leave it and think positive and say, she will get better. That she's not going to stay there. And because you are a determined person too.
Yeah, I'm pretty stubborn.
Yes.
Yeah, well, not so much. You're probably stubborn, but like determined.
Yeah.
You knew what you had to do and you wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't go down again, but you're strong enough to get back up.
Yeah.
And you realise when you need to go back into hospital. So you're it's all working together with you in your mind. Yeah. So which is really good. So no, I don't think we've really worried about you not getting
better
on some level even ground. Which
And
is
now
good.
this might be a tough question. Did you ever worry that I would die by suicide?
I don't think it really crossed my mind as such. I know you did say that you had moments, but I didn't really. I think because you've been down that road, I felt you would control it.
Yeah, but it still crosses your mind, even though we didn't know in the beginning.
Not anymore.
No, but you hear of so much of this going on.
Yeah, I know.
And you don't want to lose your daughter. So you just say you've got to do everything you can. Whatever you need to do, whatever you need to take, whatever tablets or medication, whatever, wherever you need to go.
Yeah.
No, it's still recording. I thought it
Stop.
Yeah,
So, and
that's very
wherever you
true.
need to go, you've got to do it because there is no alternative.
No.
Do not commit suicide. It's horrible. It is, it would be a terrible thing.
More damage behind.
Oh, yeah, because, well, then that then brings me back to some stupid part in my life where, my mother was really sick and she wanted to commit suicide and she was going to do it with Dad, and they had it all planned. And I said, you can't do that. That's not fair.
Yeah.
So no, there's no choice. But yes, it did cross my mind.
Yeah.
I think that there is, but then I try not to dwell on that either. You just move forward.
And the thing is as well, like you can think and try, like there's nothing that you guys could have done at that point anyway, because
that's exactly right.
I think once the decision's made for somebody to die by suicide, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
that was. And what were your thoughts and feelings with my first hospital stay, which was in June 2023? Like,
wow, that's nearly 3 years ago.
And we went and visited you down there.
yeah, no, but not about visiting.
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah.
like what were your thoughts? And like, there's a lot of stigma still behind psychiatric and mental health hospitals and things like that. And having one of your own kids spend.
I think what we thought was really great. She's getting great support in a great place with psychologists and mental and
it would have helped because you went there and you were able to see it and see what the place is like, and we're not in padded
it
rooms.
minds a lot that the fact it's such
And
a
in
great
straight
facility.
jackets.
Straight jackets.
Oh yeah.
There was no padded rooms.
For me, I was really happy.
Yeah, so it was a relief.
very, very happy that you had found somewhere that you were
Treated
not
well.
staying where you were, that you were looking for help, and there was help out there.
And that's got to be a positive outlook as well, to go, okay, well, Melissa's knowing that she needs help, that she can't do this by herself.
Yeah.
And the fact that when
that's
you
right.
go downhill, you would book yourself in straight away.
Yeah, so the first time we were very, very pleased and we were very eager to get down and visit you. Very eager.
Yeah.
And we were happy we did. We were happy we did it. And, you know,
And from memory, in that first day, I was there for about 8 weeks. I think you were there nearly every bloody weekend.
Yeah.
That's about a 2.5 hour drive for you guys, isn't it, one way?
It is. Yeah, it's two. You know,
It was
it's
never
a
a
long.
burden.
No. It was never. We were happy. We felt better doing it than not doing it. So we would always do it, and even now we will still do it.
Yeah.
So
We've had many a party in that dining room at the hospital. Until we get kicked out by security.
Check out the fire alarm.
And of course, you know, Melissa, being Melissa, she gets there and she organises the food?
The social club.
The social club. So she's organising, and everybody just loves Melissa. She's got friends down there, and then we know these people, and so no, we were very, very happy.
Yeah, we were.
And we were happy to know where she was going. That it was a really nice place. It was good. It was well set up and organised, and yes, we were very relieved.
And what do you think helped me the most during my recovery?
I think probably the fact that you addressed it and you wanted to get better, and going to the Son of God was a big help, and obviously family support, probably a bit of everything, you know, your motivation, tablets, medication, tablets, and going to St. John of God, and the fact that you really booked yourself in to get treated. Yeah. Really knew what you had and you wanted to repair yourself.
Yeah. And I think also too for you, it was you needed to do it for yourself anyway. Yeah. You know, because you've had your family here, but what was the question? I've forgotten.
What do you think helped me the most during my recovery?
Combination of everything.
Yeah, I think there's probably a combination of everything, but knowing what we believe ourselves, I think God had a part in that as well. I know that probably sounds really silly, but I think our prayers, that kept us going as well. Yeah. Putting it back onto God and asking Him to look after you. That was something, because we can't do anything. No. We just can't do anything. We can be there physically, we can give you a hug and a kiss and massages and whatever else, but something else of a higher power needed to step in. Yeah. So
I definitely agree with that too. Yeah. So what do you think about me speaking openly about my experiences now?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's great if you're able to do it.
The biggest part of healing is to acknowledge it and speak about it.
Yeah. I think for me, like, this podcast is very cathartic. And I know you haven't listened to a lot of episodes, you've listened to a few, but I speak about it quite a lot, as this is my, like, dear diary type. Sorry about Dad blowing his nose. He's been crying quietly in the background.
Yeah.
And he's got a snotty nose now. Yeah, so for me, it's my Dear Diary, it's my journaling, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's been helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It is helpful.
What do you think when you listen to Mad Mel's mic?
Well, I must confess here now, seriously. We're very keen. We still are keen. We just don't get around to doing it. I think we've listened to the first 3 episodes. I was very excited about that. That was good. So I don't know what's happened. I mean, she's done season 1 and here we are in episode 4, is it?
I think we lived it. We
season
don't
2.
hear anymore.
This will come out as episode 6 season.
Episode 6, season 2. Right?
And there was
We've
35 episodes last season. So you've just got 1 or 2 to catch up on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
Great
Yeah,
therapy.
Yeah.
It also helps other people.
100% it does, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've always sort of said if it can help one other person and they
Yeah.
feel not
Yeah.
so alone
Yes,
in listening to
yeah,
my journey
yeah.
and gives them a little bit of hope, well then
Yeah.
one person is better than none. So,
That's exactly right.
but I know from messages and stuff that I've got to certainly helping more than one person. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great.
what makes you most proud of the person I've become?
Addressing what you had and doing everything you could to get over it or get through it,
Yeah,
knowing that you want to get over it but to control it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same for me. Really? There's something wrong with my brain today. I can't remember the questions.
You're doing very well done.
What makes you most proud about the person I've become?
Oh, because you're Melissa.
Yeah.
You're Melissa. You're our little baby. Little Barbie,
Just a
aren't you?
baby.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's really good. You have become a really strong woman,
You've
Melissa.
always been strong.
And you have, but through all of this, I think you've become stronger, and I think you understand others too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of what you've been through, and I think what you're doing is really good when you're going out to all these other, your Mad Mel's, Mike, and all of this, and the other things that you do. I think it's really, really good. Yeah.
Well, thank you. So what do you think people misunderstand about emergency service workers?
What they're going through as frontliners, you mean? The pain, the suffering, the hurt, and the brokenness of what they see. And they just take it for granted that you just do it, but they don't realise what you're actually going through.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I think not everybody, obviously, but a lot of people just think, oh, they're there, they can cope.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're able to cope. They're strong. But even the strongest,
Yeah.
They-
well, I
they-
think it's
they
important
break.
to realise that as emergency service workers, we aren't robots.
No,
we are
that's-
just
yeah.
people.
right. Yeah.
But I remember a funny story, Mum, that you said to me one day. Like it went something along the lines of, Melissa, like there was about 6 or 7 cops in this like cafe. Like, what do you think was going on?
Yeah.
And I went, they're probably just getting a coffee. And do they do that? Yeah, we're normal people. We drink coffee
I
too.
know.
But that's
Yeah.
as a parent of somebody in the police force asking that. So you can only imagine what other people's perception is of emergency service workers when they don't even have a child or somebody that they know in them.
Yes,
Like
yeah,
we are, like we put on this uniform and people just see us as police officers or ambos or fireys or whatever it is, and don't actually see that there's a person underneath that still has the same emotional issues as any other person as well.
Yeah.
So
And a good example of that is when you were back at Mount Druitt, you were telling us about you had to go in the middle of the night and you had to go and find this stolen motorbike,
I can't remember.
and you had to jump fences in the middle of the night.
It's not a motorbike, looking for a guy, a person.
A person, that had done something anyway. And you said, holy smokes, Mum, I had to jump over this fence and I'm scared. It's pitch black in
And you
there.
gave someone else the torch and said, I'm going back to you.
I don't think I would have done that.
But you were funny because you showed then that you were scared.
Yeah, I was scared.
You were scared to go jumping over those fences in the middle of the night trying to find somebody that you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what to. You don't know whether they've got any,
No.
anything on them or anything.
And I
so
feel like we put ourselves in positions and that people only watch in movies.
yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people realise that, and I think they do to some extent, but Yeah, like I remember there being a lot of fear.
Yeah.
But that was all for self-preservation. Like,
Yes,
it's,
that's
I wanted
right.
to be going home at the end of the shift.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going into such volatile situations that you never knew at the
Yeah,
start of the shift what
yeah.
would happen and if you would be
Yeah.
going home in one piece or at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So because you saying that, obviously then reinforced it again to me that, yeah, she's still human.
Yeah.
I know she's our daughter, and yes, you know, you still think,
Yeah,
oh,
you don't
she-
go
she'll
through
be
the
right.
academy and they inject you with some serum and you become Iron
that's
Man.
exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do get scared.
And it's interesting, I've spoken to frontliners, like anybody's that sort of stuff, after they've been to horrific things, and I asked how they cope. He said, oh, no problems. But I'm also aware it might compound them later on.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that bucket.
Exactly
And the
right,
bucket
yes.
gets fuller and
Yeah.
fuller and there's only so much you...
And before you never were aware of that.
No. It's just a straw that breaks the camel's back, right?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
What advice would you give parents whose children work in emergency services?
Get counselling as they go along. Just have a bit of debriefing often, regularly,
100%.
and sincerely. Yeah.
Yeah, talk, get it out of your system.
Yeah.
Talk about it when it
Don't let it
happens.
build up.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
And encourage them to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they want to do. That's fine, but get them to talk about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stigma in it as well. I think a lot of frontliners don't want to go there. and
Yeah.
get counsel because
Well,
they
because there
think,
still is
oh,
a stigma in the...
yeah,
Well, I
of
know
course.
in the police there
yeah,
still
because
is that
they think
mental
it's
health.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're
We're okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're
We're
okay.
tough.
We're tough. We can do
Yeah.
this. We can. You know, we can't show our softer side
Yeah.
or whatever. But yeah.
Well, heaven forbid you cry at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you think my biggest strength is?
Motivation.
Biggest strength.
I think a great strength you are able to talk and to relate and to share now.
Yeah. That is it. That's your strength. You have always been a gregarious person anyway.
Yeah.
You like people. You know, I think that's a big strength of yours, and you are a strong person. Even when you were little, you were strong-willed. But I think also to your family, you
Yeah.
your strength is also your family.
Yeah.
I think some strength comes from the family. So, yeah,
And your family shows your strength because they're great kids.
Yeah.
and husband.
Oh, husband. Yeah, but he was brought up before she knew.
He goes all right.
Yeah,
But he's stuck by me through it all.
Oh,
Like, I've seen
absolutely.
so many relationships fail because of PTSD
No,
and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like
I've always
that.
said
So.
that Carl encouraged him.
yeah,
If he's Carl.
yeah.
And he would never walk away.
No.
Was there a moment where you realised something was really wrong with me before? No, don't worry about that question. If you could tell me something you've never said before, what would it be? We don't. Not much we really don't say to one another.
No, I know.
Yeah.
We do say a lot of things.
Just keep doing what you're doing and do it well.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, that we love you. Doesn't matter what happens. We love you in everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what, you know. You're just Melissa
Yeah.
Yeah.
to us. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Now, have you got a funny story
Oh,
from my
here we go.
childhood?
Funny story.
Oh, you two are hopeless.
Oh, no. I can't even think. All I can think of is, and it's not even really about you. It's when Lauren, when she rang up, said someone's
Oh,
trying to get
yeah,
into our
okay.
house. Oh, my gosh, there's got nothing.
It's got nothing to do with me. Well, yeah.
I know. Oh, my
It's one of my friends
Yeah, I
from
can't
school.
bring anything to mind. It's just,
Yeah,
Funny stories. Oh, my gosh.
that's all right.
I don't know. I can't think of this.
All right. Well, we're going to do the thought of the week,
Oh, thought of the
and Mum is going to open the book. What's the name of the book again, Mum? Just read it
The
out.
book is called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie McKeesy.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Wow, every week I've been saying it in a different way.
MACKESY.
Yeah, I can't. My head can't get those letters out.
Oh, really?
So, no,
Oh, that's
I've got
what it looks like.
Macasay, Maxi, like.
Well, those are
McKeesy. I
my
don't know.
books.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
No, actually, that makes sense. McKeesy.
Yeah.
Forevermore, it shall be McKeesy until
Yeah.
I forget how you pronounce it next week when I record.
Okay.
Random page.
Random page. Is that what I'm supposed to read?
Yep, just read all of that.
Okay, here we go. Sometimes, said the horse, sometimes what? asked the boy. Sometimes just getting up and carrying on is brave and magnificent. And so be it. Never a truer word was said.
Yes.
Good on you, Melissa. We love you.
Oh, you closed it. Oh, no, that's all right. I'll find it later. I'll take a photo for it. So
There you go.
that was Mum and Dad. Thanks for coming and joining us. I've told my story many times, but hearing it through my parents' eyes just reminded me how many people walk these journeys alongside us.
And I just want to say we are very, very, very proud of you, Melissa.
Thanks, Mum.
You have done a very, very good job. You're a wonderful mother, a wonderful daughter, wonderful sister, auntie, and all the rest of it.
But you still want to kick me in the ass sometimes too.
Oh, well, maybe just a smidgen.
She's a beautiful daughter, but sometimes she's very expensive to run.
Yes, particularly with
We
our
love her
next
so much.
holiday that I'm planning for them to take me on.
Oh, yeah.
The best wife.
She's a bit of a con merchant. She can twist us around a little finger.
The best wife, the best mother, the best daughter.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for sharing with that. The laughs, the tears,
Yeah, and thanks for giving me a headache. Thank you.
That's hard work.
Thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you next.
Thanks for tuning in to Mad Mel's Mic. I'm Melissa Smith, and I hope you've enjoyed listening. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to like and follow. Have a great week, and don't forget to be kind to yourself.